Alex, nice to meet you. Congrats on Never Let Go. I thought it was wonderful.
Thanks.
It was a very visual movie, very intense, and I was curious if you could, talk about what went into crafting your vision for the look of the movie, and if maybe any, past movies kind of helped fuel how you wanted it all to look.
I mean, everything started when I read the script the first time.
Yeah.
And I felt that what really stuck with me beyond the fear, beyond the suspense, beyond all the layered and the theme that was really striking was the opportunity of creating a world.
Yeah.
Like something close to the fairy tale, the dark classical fairy tale. And that went along with the voice of the writers, the way they were like writing those dialogues, the way they had this like a blessing of the house, the way they were kind of like living off the grid, but also in their own world. The whole symbolic from the rope to the, every meaning from the color. Everything was kind of really inbred in the script. And so I wanted to use that as like an opportunity to create like a really textured world. Like to have, of course, the forest, who's the fourth character, was like this kind of threat who could it's lifeless and in the same time it's very lush and kind of monstrous and can move and shapeshift, at any point. But there was something about, like the detail, like the I didn't want anything like flat. I wanted everything to have like some element, and almost like going back to classical painting, like a clair-obscur, because there is no electricity. All the light is coming from the windows. It's coming from like the night. They have a different way of, because the world is handed and they are living off the grid. It's a completely out of time experience.
Yeah.
So that all this were kind of like, for a filmmaker to create a world is always the goal. It's something that I realize now. Like this is my 10th movie, and I realize that this is something I'm really looking for.
Yeah.
I look for like a place where I can, kind of like control like a space or like sometime in time, and create like a world that's just realistic, but kind of like slightly off, like an hyper-real experience.
Of course, yeah. And what a performance from Halle Berry. It's such an intense character. Could you talk about what it was like working with her on, this type of character in particular?
It was, like she's the center, the anchor of the movie.
Yeah.
She's the pillar in the middle of this family, but she's also like a very dual character. We have in one hand the two brothers, the twins, but she also is double.
Yeah.
She also has like a really dark side and a bright side.
Yeah.
She's like that mother that's loving and that wants to protect the kids from the evil lurking outside, but she's also that mother that hold their kids on that rope and that doesn't let them go away, that kind of like cut them away from the world, and they might die of starvation because of that. There is so many complexity, and she's struggling with that.
Yeah.
So that was really important to find someone who understood. And I remember the first time we met, I realized that the meeting was really about her making sure that I understood that as well.
Yeah.
And that I will not compromise to get all that nuance and contradiction in a character on the screen.
Yeah.
And so, then from then to today, it was just like an amazing collaboration.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And you said this was your 10th movie, one of which was Crawl, which I was such a fan of. And I heard there's a sequel, which everyone seems very excited about. I was curious if there's anything you could share about it.
It's, like I'm really excited to go back into the Crawl universe. It's a weird thing when I make movies. Even when they are finished, I keep thinking about them, and I keep like kind of working on them, even if that makes no sense because they are finished and over. But because of all the storm and all the hurricane happening and all the climate craziness happening around the world, every time I see, I like picture like setup with gators and new scene that we could create that would be very interesting and scary, and so to have the opportunity of going back there is it's going to be something different.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see it. And in the meantime, congratulations.
Thank you
on
very
Never
much.
Let Go. It was wonderful.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.